Hello, my name is Brianna Veglia. I started weightlifting around 4 to 5 years ago when the pandemic hit, and I wasn't too out of shape, but I definitely wanted to get into shape. And so I started prioritizing my health, getting into lifting. And then once I saw that Cortland had a bodybuilding competition, I was really interested because I've been wanting to do a competition for a little bit now, but I wanted to kind of use it as a stepping stone before I got into the world of bodybuilding, and overall, I love the competition.
What motivated you to enter the student-run bodybuilding competition at SUNY Cortland specifically?
I'm gonna be so honest, I probably wouldn't have entered unless Chris did not ask me to. He was saying that I had to enter because he was entering, and I was definitely on the fence about it for a little bit because I knew I wasn't in crazy shape to be in the competition, but I did what I could do, and at the end of the day, I'm really happy that I entered it. Competing in it was super kind of like crazy, and like I feel like it was like not real when I look back on it, just because the day of the competition I was super dehydrated and only having like salt and honey, and let me just tell you, it'll give you the shakes. It was an awesome day, and celebrating after was definitely my favorite part, but overall prepping for the competition was really fun, and it just was nice to have like a goal to accomplish.
So you won second place, right? In the
Yes.
women's? Okay. How was that? What
It
that
was
like?
good. I mean, honestly, when I saw Fiona, I was like, I am not getting first place. I saw her and I was like, she looks so good. And she was just so conditioned, like you could tell. And like also, not to mention, she's literally a natural at bodybuilding. Like she did amazing up on that stage. Honestly, I'm very happy with the turnout. I wouldn't have wanted to get second place against anyone else. Like I feel like she really just like held that title. And just honestly, like the girlhood, like me, Fiona, and Brooke, like talking to them before the competition and after, like we all were just so content with what we were able to like pull off and everything, and just super happy overall with the results.
My name's Chris Quadra.
And can you tell us a bit about your journey to bodybuilding and how did you first get interested in the sport?
It kind of got pushed to me. I was always an athlete. I played baseball, wrestling. I even did breakdancing as a kid. Once I was kind of done with sports, wanted to keep working out. But a lot of people around me were into powerlifting and bodybuilding, so I kind of just picked.
Can you walk us through your mindset going into the competition and how did you feel? Like nervous, excited, a mix of both?
I would say it was a mix of both. A little bit more excited. I didn't really know what to think. It was my first one. I was just really doing it for the experience and being a part of something on campus.
What motivated you to enter the student-run bodybuilding competition at SUNY Cortland specifically?
I would say it was the support from the club. Everyone was coming up to me in the gym asking if I was going to do it. I remember last year they came up to me when they were thinking about starting the club, and it was definitely something I was interested in.
Why do you think it's so important that Cortland started this?
I think because we are such a gym community. There's a lot of gym guys in the gym. A lot of people that take this very serious, and it was cool to get people to compete.
What did you feel was the biggest strength that helped you stand out in the competition?
But like I said, I was interested in bodybuilding, so I would say I was a little more ready. Like I started prep earlier. This was something I'm getting ready for another competition, so it was like I was already starting to prepare for what I would be doing anyways.
And winning the title of Mr. Cortland must have been a huge accomplishment. How did you feel when they announced your name?
I was thrilled. I was very excited. It was a change in plans. I wasn't supposed to be able to win Mr. Cortland, so the fact that we kind of changed things up last minute was very exciting.
How has the victory influenced your future goals in both bodybuilding and in other areas of your life?
It gave me, so I wouldn't say winning, I would say the whole experience in general just kind of gave me more insight on the sport, what I got to do better next time, and how to improve going forward. I thank Cortland. I thank especially the Cortland Bodybuilding Club, the students involved that made this happen, Tyler, our president, everybody else behind the scenes. And I think what we did was great, and I can't wait to see what the club turns into in the future.
My name is Tyler Ferragamo. I'm a senior at SUNY Cortland. I study sport management and a minor in communications with a concentration in sport media and technology. I have a passion for all things sports, but also bodybuilding as well. And that's kind of what led me to starting the club with it. Originally, honestly, like I fell in love with the gym when I got here. Me and one of my friends were talking one day. We liked the sport of bodybuilding and we kind of, just like the journey and how and what goes into it and stuff like that. And then kind of just asked myself, they have the powerlifting meet every year. Like, why isn't a bodybuilding competition a thing? And that's kind of what originally drew me to starting the club in the first place, with the ultimate goal of eventually having a competition.
And so what was the community impact on SUNY Cortland for the bodybuilding competition?
I'd say community is probably the biggest word of our club in general, and I don't really see this as like a separate thing. I kind of see this competition as a culmination of our whole year. Community was kind of the word that I harped on when I first started this because it's a niche. It's not a very large component. There's a lot of people, and this is kind of how I found this out. There's a lot of people who like going to the gym. There's not a lot of people who who really really love it and who are willing to to really do a lot of research into it. So originally it was hard to really build a niche of people who went to our meetings and things like that. But once we started really harping on the community aspect and trying to make it as inclusive as possible for everybody, and more or less the same goal of being as fit and in shape as possible. I think that that's really where we started to find a lot of success. We were lucky enough to have 10 to 15 competitors sign up. We had 10 compete. I can't really guess the outcome, the amount of people that were there, but I'd probably say about between 50 and 80 people that were there. It's a large undertaking to put on any big event. And I think that for a club, and especially in its first year, to put on something that was probably, I'd say, I confidently say one of the bigger events that happened on campus run by a club. I'd say it's pretty cool when you can really just kind of, I don't know, get hard nosed about it and you're able to get things done, I guess. In terms of like being able to achieve a goal, it's possible to do some pretty cool stuff. It's always a no until you ask. So if you don't ask if you can, then you'll never know what could have been.